Welcome to the show, everybody. Thank you all for the awesome feedback this week on two different things that we've been doing. Number one, we've been doing a daily sort of like just the news podcast, which is 3 minutes and it summarizes the news elements of everything we talk about on the show. So it takes out the opinion and it's really just like a rundown and preview of the day's news. We've been doing this daily on our Substack. If you want, you can get that emailed, but you don't have to. And you can find it for free at substack.davidpakman.com. People loving that. And then number two, dozens and dozens of such nice messages from new viewers to the show who found me in the last 48 hours, thanks to my live stream with Heather Cox Richardson, who her fans are both very intelligent and also very devoted. She's got over 2.6 million followers on Substack, which is insane. And so many after my conversation with Heather coming in and saying, hey, now I'm a follower of the David Pakman Show. So welcome to all of those folks. It's really great to have you here. And you can check out my conversation with Heather also on our Substack. We had a really beautiful moment on Fox News this week involving Jessica Tarlov that her fellow co-hosts were not really ready for. So let me kind of explain it. You all know, I expect, because you've listened to the show, have been following what's going on, that a bunch of Trump's base is furious with him over the Epstein situation. And also that Trump is underwater in terms of approval in every single poll. He's even underwater specifically on immigration. And that's what came up during this segment. Jessica Tarlov, the lone liberal on the panel, as usual, drops the hammer about how deeply unpopular, not just in general Trump is, but specifically when it comes to immigration, which many on Fox have been cheerleading as a great success of this administration. She explains what the numbers are, and nobody can really rebut it or explain it away. And it was one of these moments where it's like, damn, maybe she actually can get through to some of these people watching Fox.
Not the people that you want to be hearing from on this. I think having border crossings down to zero is an incredible achievement. The problem is that the rest of the immigration policy is in absolute shambles. His approval rating on immigration ranges from minus 27, that's in Gallup, to minus 19 in CNN, and minus 15 in the new Quinnipiac poll that's out today. He's in the red or underwater, however you want to say it, on deportations as well, which was one of his key promises. In the CNN poll, his approved strongly number down to minus 21. It's the lowest it's been at any point in either of his administrations.
Why do you think that is?
Because he's not doing a good job at being president.
Oh, I love that. There's really, really no spinning these numbers. His approval is low because he's being a terrible president. Trump's approval on immigration is in the toilet. It's historically bad. And what's funny is immigration was supposed to be the great victory of Trump. Listen, the tariffs are sort of a question mark. And now we've got the Epstein thing. And what about saying no new wars, but he's bombing countries? What do we do about that? But he's doing what he promised on immigration. And so you got to give him marks on that. No, his approval on immigration is a disaster. And you don't get there unless you are executing a policy that is really repelling to the public. And that's what's going on. It's been completely chaotic. He first said, we're only going to go after. Let me go back 1 second. No matter which version of Trump's promises you liked, he's failing. So let me break that down. He said he would go after the worst of the worst. Violent criminals who are undocumented and have been convicted of crimes. Instead, we see ICE deporting farm workers and parents and kids with cancer. We see ICE hanging out in Home Depot parking lots where people are waiting for work and going to Walmart and this sort of thing. A girl undergoing treatment for cancer was removed while fighting leukemia. And so that story about we're going to get the worst of the worst, they haven't stuck to that. Number two, Trump said he was going to be the deporter in chief. He was going to deport more people than anybody. And he's deporting not even or roughly half of the people that Obama was deporting. Now, I don't say this because I go, whoever deports the most, I love. This is not how I would measure the success and efficacy of an immigration policy, but it's what Trump promised. And there were people saying this guy, you've got these people who believe there's 20, 30, 40, 50 million undocumented immigrants in the United States, which there, of course, aren't. But if you believe that, You would expect Trump to be able to deport a whole hell of a lot of people. He's roughly deporting half of the people that Obama was deporting. Trump's got the camps. He's got Tom Homan. He's got Kristi Noem. He's got a renewed focus on this issue. And he can still only get half of the deportations done that Obama. So if you were expecting him to do the mass deportations, he's failing there as well. And then you've also got some of the civil liberties conservatives who are seeing ICE agents wearing masks in broad daylight like it's, a cartel operation, raiding communities, racially profiling, no transparency, no oversight, no sense of proportion. It's mostly people on the left, but it's also some people in the Republican Party who look at this and they go, this just doesn't seem right. And it's been a performance for MAGA audiences that love seeing people getting dragged out of neighborhoods. They've liked it. But a lot of people, even centrists and some people in the moderate right, have had it with this stuff. And so it's not a left-wing critique. These are people who are looking at the tactics and they don't like them. They're looking at the record and they're going, he's not even doing the thing that he promised to do. And meanwhile, there's no other area that's going really well. Tariffs aren't going well. Government transparency isn't going well. Foreign policy is not going well. What Trump is benefiting from right now, and I'm always just totally upfront about the economic numbers, Trump's benefiting from the fact that gas prices are basically flat. Now, he promised they'd go down. They didn't, but they're flat. Inflation prices have continued to increase, but relatively slowly, between 2.4 and 2.7% annualized. And so the stock market's been, doing fine. So Trump's benefiting from that right now. There are warning signs economically. My expectation is that if dissatisfaction continues with the immigration protocol and dissatisfaction continues with Trump's transparency on Epstein, and we start to get into economic problems, that these numbers are going to be the numbers Trump will dream of. They will be way better. The numbers today will end up being way better than where Trump could end up. And Trump seems desperate and wrecked by this. And I think it's worthy of a little bit of discussion. So I learned a while ago that I was clenching and grinding my teeth at night, not on purpose, not because I was necessarily stressed out by something obvious, but grinding and clenching without even knowing it. And when I talked to my dentist about it, about getting a night guard, it was a whole thing. Appointment, mold, waiting, a bill that seemed very high. And ultimately, I found Remy, and Remy is our sponsor today. Remy sends a kit right to your door to take an impression of your teeth with super clear step-by-step instructions. You send it back to them, and they will custom make your night guard right here in the United States, in Las Vegas specifically. No waiting rooms, no overpriced bills, just a better way to protect your teeth while you sleep. Try Remy risk-free at shopremy.com/Pacman and use the code Pacman to get 50% off your night guard at checkout. The link is in the description.